What if I told you that all billionaires got that way by screwing someone else, and when you get rich, you are screwing someone else too? Welcome to our channel. Here we discuss everything money and credit with the goal of you becoming wealthy. So if that sounds like something you want to hear more about, hit that subscribe button so you can be notified every time we release a new video. Also, do us a favor. Share this video with somebody who could use it, and watch as they respond. But enough promotion. Let's dive into today's topic. Have you ever wondered how billionaires actually get rich? Now, before I give you my response, let me give you 3 potential answers. No. 1, hard work. No. 2, smart investments. No. 3, pure luck. Okay? So which one of those is correct? Well, the answer is a combination of all 3. However, if I had to choose which one of those is the most important, it would definitely be hard work. But even then, hard work only takes you so far. You also need an element of risk-taking. And finally, you need to ensure that you are in a position where your labor is rewarded. The problem with how billionaires become rich is that there are some things that very few people talk about. For example, Jeff Bezos started Amazon in his garage, but he was already a millionaire before starting the company. Warren Buffett started investing at age 11, but his dad was a broker and helped him get his start. Or take Bill Gates. Before co-founding Microsoft, he had access to some of the most powerful computers in the world at the time, thanks to his father's job. The point here is that most billionaires have unique circumstances that helped set them up for success. This doesn't mean that these individuals didn't put in the work, but it does mean that they had advantages that most people don't. Now, in my opinion, I think that's okay. After all, we are all dealt different hands in life. Some of us have parents that give us opportunities, while others don't have that luxury. There are also people who are born with physical traits that give them an advantage, while others are born with disabilities. We are all different, and we should accept that. But despite the fact that some people get dealt better hands than others, there's still a common thread among all of these individuals. A common thread that involves you and me. Do you remember the 3 ways that I suggested billionaires get rich? Hard work, smart investments, and luck? Let's take a look at each one of those from a different angle. First, let's look at hard work. While it is true that billionaires put in a lot of hard work to get where they are today, it's also true that most of us work just as hard, if not harder, at our jobs. But you probably won't become a billionaire. Why is that? Well, one reason could be because you're reworking for a billionaire and making them richer while you're reworking hard to make ends meet yourself. On average, CEO pay has skyrocketed over the past few decades. Today, the average CEO makes 351 times the pay of the average worker. That's more than double what they were making just 40 years ago. To put that into perspective, back in 1978, the average CEO made roughly 20 times the pay of the average worker. By 2021, that number had increased to 40 times, but still, it's not double. That means that while you may be working hard at your job, a significant portion of your hard work is going towards making your boss richer rather than yourself. Next, let's talk about smart investments. Now, I am not talking about buying individual stocks or trying to pick the next hot stock on the market. I'm talking about investing in assets that appreciate over time, like real estate. Just look at the recent housing market boom. Home prices rose by almost 20% in 2021, with some cities seeing increases of more than 30%. Now, if you owned a home, that's great news for you. Your home just went up in value. But what does that mean for everyone else? Well, it means that when you go to sell your house, you can make a lot of money. But what happens when there's not enough demand for all those houses? Prices start to fall. That why it so important to be aware of what's happening in the market and to invest in a way that will protect your wealth. Otherwise, you could end up losing everything when the market turns. Now, I know that's easier said than done, but that's why it's important to do your research and to seek professional advice before making any major investment decisions. Finally, let's talk about luck. Billionaires often get lucky. Sometimes they find themselves in the right place at the right time. Other times, they simply get lucky breaks. Now, I'm not saying that luck isn't important. After all, it plays a role in everyone's life. But what I am saying is that we shouldn't rely on luck to make us rich. Instead, we should focus on what we can control, like our attitude, our effort, and our ability to learn from others. So how do billionaires actually get rich? The answer is simple math. It's brutally clear. When one person profits massively, someone else pays the price. Now, before you throw out terms like exploitation, unfair advantage, or the evil rich, I need you to understand something. Wealth isn't magically created. It's redistributed. Your favorite companies, whether it's Apple, Amazon, or Nike, aren't wealth-generating machines, they're wealth redistribution machines. The profit they generate goes to shareholders. If you own shares of Apple, then you benefit from their success. But if you don't, then you don't. Same goes for real estate, stocks, crypto, anything where there are winners and losers. Each winner's gain is another person's loss, directly or indirectly. Let me say it again. The uncomfortable truth is your financial victories are someone else's financial defeat. Whether it's the neighbor who lost out on the house that you just bought or the shareholder who didn't buy Apple stock when they had the chance, every financial victory comes at the expense of someone else's financial loss. Now, I know that sounds a little harsh, but it's the truth. And it's important to understand this, because it'll help you make smarter decisions. Here's the thing. If you want to be wealthy, you have to compete for finite resources with people who have unlimited wants. Basically, there's only so much wealth to go around, but people always want more of it. That means that if you want to get rich, you have to take it from someone else. Now, I know that sounds like a zero-sum game, and in a way it is. But the truth is that the game is rigged against you. Most people don't realize this, but the wealthy elite have a huge advantage. They have access to resources that most people don't. They have the best lawyers, the best accountants, the best financial advisors, and they use these resources to their advantage. The result is that they get richer and richer while everyone else struggles to get by. So what can you do about it? Well, first, you need to understand that the game is rigged. Once you realize that, you can start to look for ways to tip the scales in your favor. Start by educating yourself. Learn as much as you can about money and investing. Then take action. Even small steps can make a big difference over time. Finally, don't be afraid to ask for help. There are people who can help you get ahead. But you have to be willing to ask for their help. This might seem like a lot of pressure, but it's worth it. If you want to be wealthy, you have to understand that you're competing for finite resources and you have to play to win. If you're not willing to do that, then someone else will. And if you don't play, well, then you lose. You lose to the billionaires who will keep getting richer and richer. You lose to the millionaires who are already ahead of you. And you lose to the people who are just starting out, but who are playing the game while you not. If you've made it this far, I thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it gave you some insight into how billionaires actually get rich. It's important to understand this so that you can make smarter decisions with your own money. Do you and forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and share this video with somebody who could use it. And until next time, thank you for watching.